What's up guys, it's Andrew. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have 3 different ways for you to learn how to get the ball from the ground into the air. And that process is called a flick up. So, are these flicks and tricks game realistic? And of course the answer is going to be no, unless you're Neymar. However, it's going to do something for you that's just as important, and that's improve your confidence with the ball, improve your comfortableness with the ball. And those 2 things are so important if you really want to become a technical player. I do have another flick up video on this channel that was more geared for beginners. However, I'd say that this tutorial is more for an intermediate soccer player. If you're interested, you can check out that other video in the description below. So the first flick up is gonna look like this, okay? It's important to master this one because in the second flick up that we're gonna show you in this tutorial, we're gonna build off of this one. So in order to execute this flick up, we need to start off by looking at our foot positioning. My flick up foot and my back heel foot are going to be at an angle to the ball and just a couple inches away. We don't want to approach the ball straight on. If I'm too close to the ball to start, the ball is probably going to bounce off my shins. If I'm too far away, then it's not going to work either. I also don't want to approach the ball straight on because your legs will get in the way of the ball. After I have my feet positioning sorted out, then I want to move on to the flick up steps. Take your dominant foot and hit the ball with the back of your heel. Remember our heel position was at an angle before? Well, we're going to back heel the ball at that angle too. When the ball starts to roll on top of my toe, I like to do the slightest toe point. This helps you get the ball moving into the air and also helps you stay in control of the ball better too. The ball should now be on my foot at this point, and now I can flick the ball into the air with my weaker foot. It's important to note, all right, that when I'm flicking up the ball, that the foot path and my leg path are gonna be moving towards the inside of my body like this, okay? Not like this. It is not a leg extension. When I flick it up, I'm moving inward like this. So that's the first flick up, guys. All right, don't force it, be patient with it, practice, okay? And you'll get there. All right, so the second flick up is gonna build on what we just learned in the first flick up, all right? But in my opinion, the second flick up looks a lot cooler. It looks like this. Let's take a look at how to do it. So our starting position, like I mentioned, is gonna be similar to the first flick up that we did, okay? The toe that's gonna be doing the flick up is at an angle to the ball, a couple inches away, and the same can be said for the foot that's doing the back heel. Next, I want you guys to practice this motion of your body, okay? It's gonna seem a little ridiculous, but if you've never done this move before, it's good to get the footwork down in order to execute this well, okay? So its body weight is mostly on my left, and now it's on my right, okay? Again, body weight on my left, now it's on my right, okay? So just go over that body motion a couple times because this is exactly the pattern that your body is gonna be moving in when you do this flick up. Now, I wanna begin the flick up process. Take the heel of your dominant foot and back heel it onto your big toe area of your weak foot. Remember that body motion that we went over before? This is where that comes into play. Executing this body motion will now allow your back heel foot to move across your flick up foot and then become your standing foot. So at the same time that my body weight is transitioning to this foot, my trailing foot now has this foot path, all right? That's gonna naturally be the only way I can really flick up this ball. So if we add that all together, it looks something like that, okay? As you can see, the foot that begins the juggle is the same foot that did the back heel. And that is our second flick up. Hey, before we go to the third flick up, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you let me know. Smash that like button, okay? It's gonna help the channel a lot. All right, let's get to the third flick up. The third flick up that we have for you today is always a fun one for me to do because I think it reminds me of basketball. And I like basketball. It looks like this. Let's show you how it's done. The bouncing portion of this flick up can be a little bit difficult to master at first. So if you want to, maybe try practicing this flick up on a hard court surface so you can learn how to nail that bouncing portion before moving on to grass or turf. All right, so let's take a look at our foot positioning for this flick up. My weak foot is gonna be almost directly under the ball, but at an angle like this. My strong foot is just gonna be chilling out here with no weight on it at all. So before showing you guys the flick up portion of this flick up, all right, I wanna show you the path that my strong foot is gonna be taking during this flick up, okay? It's gonna look like this. Guys, I know it looks ridiculous, but this is what you gotta do, okay? Weak foot is gonna be hopping in place. Right foot's gonna swing up like a pendulum. It's gonna stay in that same speed the whole time. So it looks like this. All right, I know I look ridiculous, but you're gonna look cool when you pull this off. All right, so practice that motion. Up next, okay, I wanna get a slight hop going with my weak foot and a flick into the air about 3 to 6 inches, okay? It's gonna look like this. Just like this. And that's the next step. While you're flicking the ball into the air, your strong foot should be moving in that same motion that we talked about earlier. When the ball is reaching its highest point, and I'm also starting to land back on my standing flick foot, I'm gonna use that downward momentum to slam the ball down against the ground with my strong foot. Almost like a basketball player would dribble that ball with their hand. Guys, I know this flick up can be a little bit tricky, okay? When I've tried to teach it in person, I've usually needed to show it multiple times. Let me show you a couple more angles of this flick up at slow motion and at regular speed. So that was our third and our final flick up. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Also, for more videos like this, go ahead, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification. I'm Andrew from Bush Football. Remember, your dreams won't work if you don't. Have a great day, guys. Bye. So, the third flick up, sound Irish, the third flick up, right here, better. All right, or JJ Okocha. I don't know why I threw JJ Okocha in there. What's up, Max Gallies? All right, so the first flick up is gonna look like this. You like that? Welcome back to the channel. It's Andrew. We have, I don't like how I said that. It's Andrew, haha, your boy.